In the heart of La Sirena, a small coastal town perched delicately by the sea, lived Valeria, a young woman whose voice was rumored to be born of the waves themselves. Every evening, as the sun dipped into the nurturing arms of the ocean, Valeria sang. Her voice, a melody of strength and gentleness, filtered through the narrow cobblestone streets, weaving itself into the fabric of the town. Valeria's mother, Marisol, ran the only school in La Sirena. A tireless advocate for education, especially for girls, Marisol was a beacon of wisdom. Marisol believed in the transformative power of education and often faced opposition from traditionalists who viewed her ideas as too progressive, too disruptive for their timeless, unchanging world. Despite the challenges, Marisol persevered, supported by the women of La Serena, who saw in her a reflection of their unvoiced dreams. Valeria grew up in this environment of quiet strength, influenced by her mother's steadfast dedication and the whispered stories of the women who would gather at their home. She learned the importance of voice, not just the melodious kind that flowed from her throat each night, but the kind that spoke of rights, dreams, and equal standing in the eyes of the world. One evening, as summer waned into a golden autumn, the town's annual festival of music and stories was about to take place. This festival had never seen a woman on its main stage, a tradition unchallenged until Valeria's voice became the town's melody. The mayor, a portly man with a booming voice, had always selected performers himself, focusing on talent that echoed his own tastes: classical, powerful, and predominantly male. Encouraged by her friends and fueled by her own quietly growing need to prove her mother's teachings on equality and empowerment, Valeria decided it was time for change. Applying for the event, she met resistance. The mayor himself dismissed her application with a wave of his hand, asserting that the main stage required a certain gravitas that young Valeria, despite her charm, simply did not possess. Undeterred, Valeria took a bold step. The night before the festival, she and the women of La Serena weaved through the town, hanging flyers and speaking fervently of the dawn of a new era in the town's history. They invited everyone to gather at the beach instead of the town square, just as the sun would set, promising a performance that would capture the essence of their town's heart and soul. As the appointed hour approached, a crowd swelled upon the beach, curious and eager. The mayor, confronted with the empty square, had no choice but to follow the sound of murmuring waves and a gathering crowd. Standing barefoot at the edge of the sea, with the sunset painting the skies in hues of defiance and hope, Valeria sang. Her voice soared above the waves, powerful and pure. Every note carried a weight, a plea for change, echoing her mother's lessons and the stories of the women who stood with her. The town listened, captivated, as their vision of tradition and norms were challenged by the beauty and strength of Valeria's performance. Moved by her courage and clarity, the mayor walked up to Valeria as she finished her song. In the humble presence of the gathered townsfolk and the expansive sea, he extended an invitation to perform on the main stage next year, not as a concession, but as an acknowledgement of her right to be there. The festival night concluded with conversations amongst groups of people, young and old, about the voices and roles of women in La Serena, sparked by Valeria's performance. The town did not transform overnight, but a new melody had woven itself into its heartbeat, one of equality, courage, and change. From that day on, Valeria's mother, Marisol, noticed a surge in attendance at her school, not just of young girls, but also of boys. Parents who once hesitated now approached her, their minds opened by the power of a voice. In La Serena, the echoes of Valeria's song lingered, a gentle yet persistent reminder that every voice deserved to be heard. Every dream deserved a chance to soar, and every stage should be open to all who dared to dream.